Hi everyone, welcome back to the Web3 channel. My name is Zach. Today we're looking at Axie's new updates that have been released over the past 24 hours. We're going to be looking at one update that was released 23 hours ago, another one that was released a lot recenter than that. With that said, let's jump into it. The key points for today: the Sky Mavis team recently welcomed their 100th team member. Congratulations. Progress on Origin and Land continues to hum along, and we're gearing it for the Origin Alpha test launch in the coming weeks and when run. Happy New Year, Lunations. 2021 was a seminal year for Axie Infinity. Over the last year, we truly came together as a community and a movement, which has provided us all incredible opportunities to realize our vision and an expansive gaming digital nation. Together, we will create an ecosystem that will allow each and every single community member to first and foremost have emotionally engaging gaming experiences no matter their interests. We are working our hardest to rise to the challenge to simultaneously grow our capacities in game development, community engagement, core infrastructure, and financial empowerment. Let's get straight into it. So looking at Land, we hope you enjoyed our end of year Project K update, but needless to say, we've been hard at work building in the meantime. Currently, the team is focused on building out the Project K trading feature that will enable players to trade various resources with one another. Just to give an idea of how much effort goes into a major feature, the trading system will likely take more than a month to build. Concepts and modeling are also in progress for various assets such as building and items. Here are some recently created 3D models for items, as we can see right here. And here are a couple of totems, including Jolly Crazy and Stellar. Awesome to see. Axie Infinity Origin. Axie Infinity Origin Battles version 3 development has been pushing full steam ahead with a target alpha test launch in the upcoming months. Here's some more in progress power-up art that we can see right here. Absolutely brilliant and beautiful. As well as new attack VFX. Notice that the facial expressions that many have said you missed in the last update for the current battles are going to be returning with even more emotion. Let's have a quick look through this to see what they are showing off here. As we can see here, Origin VFX leak, January 2020 dev update, and we can see, of course, the gameplay right here. Very, very exciting to see. We see the Rage one right there. Okay, also be ready to learn about the world of Axie with new lore that will be a part of the adventure mode. Here's a small sneak peek. Meet Bubba. Bubba was born in a quaint village near the Lunacious Forest. As a young lad, Bubba marveled at the metalled frontier battalions as they marched through his hometown. This sparked his dream of becoming the greatest soldier in Lunacia. Though Bubba is a valiant fighter, his short temper and overly meticulous nature can create obstacles. When Bubba rages, his eye flashes fiercely with the intensity of an electrical current. Beware, the quickest way to anger Bubba is to mess with his brush-like tail. Growth has been moderate recently as the community gears up for a flurry of catalysts and launches in 2022. Our growth team is hard at work preparing for the launch of Axie Infinity Origin. Origin will have much easier onboarding than the current experience, as players will be able to receive free starter Axies to start learning and falling in love with Axie before making any economic decisions. This means the new growth strategies will open up as the game becomes easier for our community to show off their friends and families. In addition, Origin will introduce new economic balancing features such as vertical progression of Axies, which will introduce much needed sinks for the economy. We are working on both a technical builders program and a creator program to make sure we can keep building together alongside our amazing community. For example, we are currently exploring how to create a referral code that will allow content creators and evangelists to be rewarded for the new citizens they onboard. Very, very good. We're also exploring how to structure a grant system for Axie community developers. Our esports team is excited to launch a second round of esports grants in the coming days. Stay tuned and we'll have a look at that very soon. Season 20 will be launching a balancing patch for Season 20 in the coming days. We're planning to release this patch prior to the release of the season to ensure sufficient time for play testing. This should allow us to catch any unintended mechanics and consequences of the patch. This means that until Season 20 is formally launched, we may launch hot fixes. Once Season 20 is launched, the card stats mechanics will be static for the season. There may be extraordinary cases where a mechanic slips through, but in those cases, we will signal through our communication channels in advance and ask for community input. That said, we expect this new process to significantly significantly decrease the probability of such a situation arising. This happened in season 19, and we hear your feedback. This was the first round of balancing where we actively sought community input. We were delighted by the response and looked through over 40 unique sheets of suggestions. Many of the sheets were based on objective data and showed a commitment to the best interest of the game. Others were less polished but were fun to look at nonetheless. We see this as one of the initial steps towards bringing the community closer to the act of co-creation around Axie. Ron makes sure to follow the Ron and Twitter page for updates, and then of course we have Sky Mavis's bio right here. Then let's have a quick look at the Esports Grant. 7,500 Axies over 5 months. We're excited to ramp up competitive gaming. Just double check that there's enough to... Yes, it definitely is. Okay, let's go through this really quickly then. Key points. Applications for the second round of Axie Esports Grants are live. 7,500 Ax has been allocated from the play and earn pool in prize money and expenses for over 27 community tournaments. Sorry, 27? 75. Not sure where that came from. This Esports Grant will require approved tournaments to have at least 20% of their final participants from open qualifiers that must be announced at least 3 weeks in advance. Approved tournaments will also be required to provide live streams in 4 languages, including English, Spanish, Portuguese, and Tagalog. We are accepting event proposals from January 15 to January 25th from community tournament organizers. Last year, Sky Mavis committed 5,500 Axes to support a grant for Axie Esports that supported over 40 tournaments. We were delighted by the response and the global scale of events. Throughout the process, we gathered your feedback and have used it in designing the second round. Okay, moving forward, we're extremely excited about the long-term potential for Axie Esports, especially once Origin is launched and the meta has settled. We believe that the changes we've made in Origin have made Axie battles much more competitive and less focused on random events. Our community is full of competitive gamers, and we are excited about continuing to improve the state of competitive Axie. In the meantime, we'll be supporting Axie Esports and enabling our event organizers to host tournaments through another Esports Grant. So let's have a look at Esports Grant number 2 for 2022. This grant will allocate 7,500 Axes from the play and earn allocation pool to support at least 75 tournaments from January 25th to June 30th of this year, and be spread across regions proportionate to our player base. We learned a lot from the first Esports Grant last year and have made several changes for this one. Up to 5% of allocated Axes can be used for event expenses. A maximum of 150 Axes will be allotted to any one event. A single organizer can submit up to 3 events for this grant. Similarly, approved event organizers will have to meet the following minimum requirements. Each event must have at least 20% of the final participants from open qualifiers. For example, an invitation with 10 players would need 2 of their players to come through open qualifiers. Open qualifiers should have at least 256 openings. Standard esports stuff that we're seeing here. Create a web page or website with all the details of their event and how to qualify at least 3 weeks before it is scheduled to begin. This should include a basic rule set and event structure, including how many Axies players use, how often they can be swapped out, etc. Information regarding open qualifiers, time, date which sign up must be included. Provide a high definition 1080p live stream for every match in the main tournament and the last 2 rounds of open qualifiers in English, Spanish, Portuguese, and Tagalog. Conduct all matchups in the tournament as at least best of 3 series with round quarterfinals and beyond at least best of 5. Provide a clear and consistent rule set for competition. Approved tournament organizers that do not meet the minimum requirements will forfeit their 5% of the access used for expenses and not considered for future esports grants. And then other expectations that we can see right here. Pause the video if you would like to see this stuff. And then offline LAN events. If you're thinking about pitching a physical event that intends to bring players on site with a live audience, I'll consider the complexities involved with executing events on this scale. If you do not have substantial financial backing, a venue and or sponsors lined up, consider the gravity of your commitment carefully. We're excited about the future of live physical Axie events and remain open to supporting them with this grant. However, proposals for these tournaments will require some additional layers of scrutiny and logistical planning, as makes sense in the world that we live in today. And then of course you can submit your proposal if you present the following information, and of course then there's some advice on how to create your proposal. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. This is the Web3 channel covering everything happening in Web3, whether it's crypto, blockchain stuff, whether we're looking at play to earn itself, etc. This is the channel. If this video was interesting and helpful, a like is always much appreciated. Subscribe to Web3 for everything happening in the Web3 space. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next Web3 video.